Jai Radha Madhava Hari Radha Madhava Jai Radha Madhava Hari Radha Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Hari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Hari Yashodanandana Brajajanarandana Yashodanandana Brajajanarandana Yamuna Tira Vanasari Yamuna Tira Vanasari Radha Madhava Vandade Radha Madhava Vandade Jaya Gopi Jaya Jaya Gopi Jaya Jamuna Tira Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Gaura Daim Supada Paramahamsa Pri Brajagacharya Stotra Satta Sri Srimad His Divine Grace Hirabai Charanaravind Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Skandiviti Founder Charya Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Namacharya Sri Haridas Thakur Ki Samavata Bhakta Vrinda Ki Harinama Sankirtan Ki Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jaini Thai Boda Pimanande. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru, to Sri Gauranga, all glories to Sri Prabhupada. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Sharakaya Chakshurandritam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Astapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Parakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Sya Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragunatam Vitam Tvam Sadivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakam Sya Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Saptakanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Siti Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Trubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Vyaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraya. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, let us first offer respectful obeisances unto Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, unto Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta Prayeshavadveshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatu Tamasloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. By regularly hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering a service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome within the heart becomes destroyed practically to nil, and loving devotional service unto the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, becomes established as an irrevocable fact. Idam Bhagavatam Nama Puranam Ramasamitam Uttama Saritam Chakara Bhagavan Rishi Nishreyasaya Lokasya Dhanyam Swasya Namaha. This Srimad Bhagavatam, known as the Grantaraj, the king of all Vedic literatures, is the literary incarnation of God. It is compiled by the incarnation of God, the Srila Vyasadeva. It is meant for the ultimate good of all people. It is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Sarabhyay Namaha. Om Sarabhyay Namaha. Om Sarabhyay Namaha. Mukham karoti vacharam pangom langayate girim yatkripa tamaham bande Shri Gurum Dinataram yatkripa tamaham bande Shri Gurum Dinataram. Hare Krishna. Welcome to our morning Bhagavatam class. We continue from canto number 7, chapter 14, entitled Ideal Family Life, and today we're looking at two verses 34 and 35. We will chant 34. Patram tu atra niruktam vai kavibihi patra vittamai harir evaeka urvisha yan mayam vai characharam patram twatra niruktam vai kabibhi patra vittamai harir evaeka urvisha yan mayam vai characharam patram tatra niruktam vai kabab kababi patra vittamai harir evaika urvisha yan mayam vai characharam patram twatra niruktam vai kabibi patra vittamai harir evaika urvisha Yanmayam Vaisharacharam Patram Tatra Niruktam Vai Kavibi Patra Vittamai Hari Rivaika Urvisha Yanmayam Vaisharacharam Patram Tatra Niruktam Vai Kavibi Patra Vittamai Hari Rivaika Urvisha Yanmayam Vaisharacharam Patram Tatra Niruktam Vai Kavibi Patra Vittamai Hari Rivaika Urvisha Yanmayam Vaisharacharam Patram. The true person to whom charity must be given. Wow. But atra, in the world, niruktam, decided by, indeed, kavibihi, by learned scholars, patra vittamai, who are expert in finding the actual person to whom charity must be given. Harihi, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Eva, indeed, Ekaha, only one. Urvi Isha, O King of the earth. Yat Mayam, in whom everything is resting. Vai, from whom everything is coming. Charataram, all that is moving and non-moving within this universe. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Hare Krishna. O King of the earth, it has been decided by expert, learned scholars that only the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, in whom all that is moving and non-moving within this universe is resting, and from whom everything is coming, is the best person to whom everything must be given. Kindly repeat after me. O King of the earth, it has been decided by expert, learned scholars that only the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, in whom all that is moving and non-moving within this universe is resting, and from whom everything is coming, is the best person to whom everything must be given. Purport. whenever we perform some religious act in terms of dharma, artha, kama, and moksha, we must perform it according to the time, place, and person. Kala Desha Patra. Narada Muni has already described the Desha, place, and Kala, time. The Kala has been described in verses 20 through 24, beginning with the words Ayane Vishuve Kuryad Vyatipate Dinakshaye, and the places for giving charity or performing ritualistic ceremonies have been given in verses 30 through 33, beginning with Saramsi Pushkaradini Kshetra Nyar Hasritanyuta. Now, to whom everything must be given is decided in this verse. Harir evaika urvisha yanmayam vai charataram. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is the neck, is a root, is a root of everything. And therefore, he is the best patra or person to whom everything must be given. In Bhagavad Gita 5:29, it is said, Bhaktaram Jagyatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suridam Sarvabhutanam Yattamam Shantimritshati. If one wants to enjoy real peace and prosperity, he should give everything to Krishna, who is the real enjoyer, real friend, and real proprietor. It is therefore said, this is from Bhagavatam, 4th canto. Oh, I'm sorry, from Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita. No, it is Bhagavatam. Yeah, 4th canto, 31st chapter, text 14. Yatha taror nishechanena tripyanti tatskanda bhujo pashakka pranopaharascha yatendriyanam tathaiva sarvarhanam achyutiteja tathaiva sarvarhanam achyuteja. Yes. By worshipping or satisfying Achyuta, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, one can satisfy everyone, just as one can water the branches, leaves, and flowers of a tree simply by watering its root, or as one satisfies all the senses of the body by giving food to the stomach. Therefore, a devotee simply offers everything to the Supreme Personality of Godhead to receive the best results of charity, religious performances, the sense gratification, and even the time, desha, the place, patra, and the particular uh, person. So this verse is beginning here with patra. Patra, Srila Prabhupada translates the true person to whom charity must be given. So, of course, those who are fortunate to come in contact with Vedic culture, with Vedic knowledge, with the essence of Vedic knowledge. When we read Bhagavad Gita, we are supposed to understand what is the essence of Vedic knowledge, or what is the ultimate goal or destination. Vedaisya sarvair aham eva vedyo vedantakrit vedavid eva saham. Krishna. As long as one doesn't know about Krishna, as long as one does not know that Krishna, so many people know Krishna, know the name Krishna, but don't know that Krishna is Ishvara Parama Krishna, Sachit Ananda Vigraha, that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is a question of Siddhanta, the question of receiving this proper knowledge, understanding in a proper manner, which means, of course, in Guru Parampara. And therefore, these literatures, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, if they are received properly, if one is fortunate to receive from proper person, patra, proper person. Patra, of course, the ultimate proper person is Krishna. Prabhupada used to say that before I came to America, he was in America, before I came to America, or before I went to America, so many sadhus went to America. And so many yogis, swamis, they went to America. But they didn't make one single devotee. There was no proper effect, because they could not deliver the essence of the Bhagavad Gita. They could not deliver the true meaning and understanding. And Prabhupada would explain, unless one is a practitioner, unless one is practicing the philosophy that is there in the Bhagavad Gita, which is the essence of which is bhakti, of course. Bhakti, devotion to Krishna. One cannot properly give that knowledge or understanding. So, therefore, it is nicely explained in the Bhagavatam as well that one who is fortunate to understand who is Krishna, one who is fortunate to understand that Krishna is the original personality of Godhead, and that by serving Him, by worshipping Him, by offering prayers to Him, all other living entities are satisfied, all the demigods are satisfied, then one will be caught up in so many different spiritual pursuits, just like people who worship demigods. Many devotees here in India who have become Hare Krishna, many of them, before they were Hare Krishna, in the morning they would be worshipping like 10,000 demigods on their altar. I remember one time with Prabhu Nityananda going to Midnapur, other places also, and you would, we go in people's home, please see my altar, naturally. And they open the door of the altar and who's here? Like who's not here? Full of so many pictures. It's like mind-boggling. I'm sure we've all seen. So we don't disrespect demigods, but a Krishna Bhakta, he's focused on the main original transcendental personality. Life becomes much more simple, much more simplified. So it is a question of receiving this proper knowledge and understanding. It's not a question of competition, oh, your God and my God, and your way of worship, my way of worship. It's a Siddhanta. I mean, it's philosophy. It is Shastra. It is evidence from Shastra. And of course, because we're in Kali Yuga, the symptom of Kali Yuga is that there are every day new systems, new religions, new movements, being made, new countries declaring independence. It's happened here also in India. I mean, India used to be much, much bigger, and even, I mean, recently means at the time of independence of India, India became India, and Pakistan was India. Now Pakistan became Pakistan, and then there was then Bangladesh, and like that. Symptom of Kali Yuga. People become more and more divided, more and more separatist, and that is due to material influence. When we work under the divine energy, the Daivi Prakriti, everything becomes united. Everything becomes harmonious. Everything becomes simplified. And Narada Muni, actually, in the beginning of this whole presentation, from the 11th chapter, the chapter entitled Perfect Society for Social Divisions, he gives that in the very beginning, this important instruction to Yudhishthira Maharaj, which is directly connected with this instruction here. Dharma mulam hi bhagavan. Mulam, root. This is mentioned here also. The root, the essence of dharma is Bhagavan, is the supreme person, supreme personality of Godhead. Dharma mulam hi Bhagavan sarva vedamayo harihi. All the Vedic literatures point to the same direction. All the Vedic literatures, as we mentioned earlier in the Bhagavad Gita, Vedaisya sarvayar aham eva vedyo, Vedanta vid, Vedantaktit eva aham, Vedanta vid, that I am the knower, I am to be known. Yeah, I am the object to be known in the Vedas. So, in this purport, also Prabhupada gives the example that often, many times he has given, which is easy to understand also. Watering the root of a tree gives nourishment to the whole tree, the trunk, the branches, the twigs, the leaves, the flowers, everything, and everything blossoms very nicely, giving food to the stomach. These are practical. Our acharyas give these examples to help the common people understand. We can relate. We can easily understand about food being given to the stomach, or water being given to the root of a plant or of a tree. So whole Vedic civilization is promoting this whole ideology of uh, we have been reading up to now in this chapter, uh, as Prabhupada specifically outlines actually in the purport how from what is it from verse uh, 20 to 24 the kala has been described, time when to worship the Lord, early morning especially. The day is divided into three: morning, mode of goodness. uh, for most people morning is still mode of ignorance, sleeping. But morning is mode of goodness, where one especially is meant to perform spiritual activities, because uh, things are still quiet, you know. Then mode of passion, when people start going to office or start going to the mango grove, mode of passion kicks in, activity. And then evening, uh, mode of ignorance. I mean, this is for the general people. For a devotee, uh, any time of the day, uh, if one is properly situated, is mode of goodness, or beyond. At least should be the mode of goodness. So Kala Desha, we also, Narada Muni has given nice instruction where to perform activities, devotional activities, uh, in different holy places, or wherever there are devotees living. Therefore, establishing communities of devotees, most important, very, very essential actually, um, so that one can uh, benefit from living with devotees, from having their good association. Uh, and so Kala Desha and Patra. So Patra uh, means understanding uh, for whom we are performing all of these activities. I mean, that is the most important. You know, what is our goal and objective for everything that we do as devotees is to connect with Krishna, is to please Krishna. Prabhupada quotes, Bhoktaram Jagyatapasam Sarvaloka Maheswaram Suridam Sarvabhutanam Gyatvamam Shantim Richati. One can become truly peaceful and happy, knowing that Krishna is a real enjoyer, that everything is meant for his satisfaction and pleasure. Um, and uh, and that Krishna is the best friend, Suridam Sarvabhutanam, best friend of all living entities. Therefore, if one actually knows this, we meet so many challenging situations in life, isn't it? People, everyone, devotees included, as long as we are here in the material world, there will be challenging situations. Prabhupada would refer to them as reverses. There will be reverses. We are going in one direction, all of a sudden we are forced to go in another direction. But when one is firmly convinced of this point, Suridam Sarvabhutanam, that Krishna is always within our hearts, Krishna is always with us, and at times actually we may not have someone to whom we can turn to, but we should know that actually Krishna is always there to whom we can turn. and he is therefore the best and ultimate shelter for all living entities, and in particular for the devotees, especially in Kali Yuga at this time where so much of demoniac activities are ongoing, where the activities of Kali are flourishing, and therefore uh, creating all kinds of disturbances, especially creating disturbances for devotees, because devotees like to have nice, peaceful, quiet, situation. But those who are not God conscious or Krishna conscious, by their activities, are constantly creating disturbances within within society. Uh, so this is the first of the two verses we are reading here. It's not cold outside. I don't know why. We are absolutely not in control of these bodies. Um, so this was a nice verse by, or instruction actually, by Narada Muni, from Narada Muni to Yudhisthira Maharaj. And let's see, yes. And then text 35, which has very short purport, goes as follows. Devarshi ahatsu vai satsu tatra brahmat mazadishu rajan yad agra pujayam mata patra tayas chutaha. Translation. O King Yudhisthira, the demigods, many great sages and saints, including even the four sons of Lord Brahma, or Kumaras, and I myself were present at your Rajasuya sacrificial ceremony. But when there was a question of who should be the first person worshipped, everyone decided upon Lord Krishna, that supreme person. Yeah. Purport. This is a reference to the Rajasuya sacrifice performed by Maharaj Yudhisthira. At that time, there was a great turmoil over selecting the best person to be worshipped first. Everyone decided to worship Sri Krishna. The only protest, except, that was an exception. The only protest came from Shishupal, and because of his vehement opposition, he was killed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So ultimately, so this example is given. Narada Muni is reminding Yudhisthira Maharaj that at this great sacrificial event, this Rajasuya sacrifice, so many great personalities were there, but finally it was decided. Of course, it was obvious because Krishna was present that Krishna is the first person who should be worshipped, because he is the supreme worshipable person. Similar example is there in the pastime of Advaita, Srila Advaita Acharya, when he performed the Shraddha ceremony. Actually, Advaitacharya was the very prominent senior most Brahmana of Shantipur. He was the head of the Brahmana society in his village. And so the practice is that when one has Shraddha ceremony, it's just like we were reading a few days back, to whom to distribute prasadam. There's everything has a order and a system. First, it should go to the brahmanas. So therefore, Shantipur is a village of brahmanas. It is the Pura of Shantipura, Shantipur. It is that place where everyone is in mode of goodness because they're brahmanas, Shantipur. So there were so many brahmanas, and I'm sure there were many exalted brahmanas also, senior brahmanas. And but there was one guest. Advaitacharya had one guest. That guest was Haridas Thakur, who is not actually brahmana, not from brahmana family, not born in brahmana family. I heard he was actually born in brahmana family, but raised by Muslim in a Muslim family. I didn't get a chance to fully research that, but in any event, he was known as not being from brahmana family, and definitely not raised in the brahmana family. So, but because Haridas Thakur was such an advanced and exalted personality, he was recognized by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as being a pure devotee, to whom the title of Namacharya, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave him the title Namacharya Haridas Thakur, because of his full dedication and full absorption in chanting the holy name. He was fully content, completely satisfied, happy in simply chanting the holy name, and that was his main service, chanting the holy name. So Advaitacharya, to the great hesitation or reluctance of Haridas Thakur, why are you giving this to me? So many brahmanas are here. You're going to get in trouble. He told him. And then Advaitacharya told him that actually, as far as I'm concerned, and according to Shastra, the most exalted brahmana here is you. So you take it. Don't argue. So at this point, patram, that's the previous verse. So just continuing on this idea of patram. So there are different living entities, just like we worship the acharya. We worship our acharyas. Those who are at the topmost level of transcendental realization, naturally they are meant to be offered respect. So this is a very important feature or aspect of the Vedic culture, understanding who is advanced, and it's not at all based on any kind of material qualification. So that's nicely been explained here. Okay.
So here is Sri Nandamuni himself spoke to Yudhishthira Maharaj. So in this section is Narada spoke to Yudhishthira Maharaj.
Yeah. Actually, all the the whole conversation between Narada Muni and Yudhishthira Maharaj begins in chapter 11. So chapter 11, then 12, 13, 14, and then 15. These are all instructions given by Narada Muni to Yudhishthira Maharaj. Yeah. So that's why, I mean, 5 chapters, not just 1 or 2 verses, but for 5 chapters, the we could say detailed presentation or detailed explanation of, in particular, Varnasrama Dharma. That's why this section is so important. It is so important not only for grihastas, but for devotees in general, to understand, to have a broader, a more complete understanding of what is dharma. And this particular chapter we are studying now is directed to householders, ideal family life, isn't it? So that means that ideal householders, they will worship, because that was one of the many instructions. They will worship the personal form of the Lord in his Arsha Vigraha form. In their home, they will have altar, and they will perform these different devotional activities. In particular, well, that is nicely summarized, of course, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. 5 primary activities that are highly conducive to evoke and awaken our dormant Krishna consciousness. Very famous, well known, beginning with Sadhu Sangha. Sadhu Sangha, Nama Kirtan, Bhagavat Sravana, hearing Bhagavatam as we are doing. Mathura Vasa, Sri Murtira, Sradhaya Sevana, Sakala Sadhana Shrestha, E Pancha Anga, Pancha, 5 practices. Krishna Prema Janamaya, E Pancher Alpo Sangha. Alpo Sangha, even a small amount of association, a small amount of time associating with any of these 5 most powerful activities of devotional service, beginning with Sadhu Sangha, association of devotees, the chanting of the holy name, the hearing on a daily basis. These 5 activities we should do on a daily basis, isn't it? Associate with devotees every day, chanting the holy name every day, chanting or japa, hearing every day, also the Srimad Bhagavatam. Mathura Vasa, if we cannot live in the original Mathura Vasa in Vrindavan, we live in a place where the whole mood and atmosphere of Mathura Vasa is present. That means in any holy dham, or if we make our home by having altar at home, our home also becomes Mathura Vasa. And Srimurtira specifically, the Murti, Arsha Vigraha form of the Lord. In this section of the Bhagavatam, there are 5 specific activities. I mean, over and above these 5, there's another 5 activities that are especially given to householders. Since we have a householder here, we can mention. Uh, so the first of the 5 activities for a householder, and also this daily, the first actually is to worship the Lord every day by coming to either a temple or in our home, seeing the deity form of the Lord on the altar. So worshiping the Lord, that is the first. Second is to Hare Krishna. Oh. Second is to prepare food and offer to the Lord every day. Uh, one of the important activities. And number 3 is, in addition to offering food to the Lord, to offer food to sadhus, saintly persons. Just like Srila Prabhupada's father. It would be offering, it would be inviting every single day some sadhus, some saintly person to his home and offering them prasadam. So that's I don't think many grihastas do that every day. I don't know of anyone doing it every day, even occasionally. But that's an important activity. Not only to give prasadam, but actually to hear from the sadhus what they will tell. Probably many people don't invite sadhus because they don't want to hear what they will tell. They'll be chastised. Householders don't want to be chastised. And then, so worshiping the Lord, offering food to the Lord, offering food to the servants of the Lord, sadhus, brahmanas. Number 4, offering food to other living entities. Even they're not sadhus, even they're not human beings. In the Vedic culture, there's some people they follow this practice. When the food is offered on their plate, they put a little bit on the side, and that they will give to some animal. They have that culture.
In Bali,
like that, huh?
Yeah. Okay. But first, like people food, they will offer to the Lord.
Okay.
Aside of this plate.
Oh, like that.
Later,
on the plate.
Yeah, whatever the remnant, they will give
to some animal, something. Yeah.
This is already practiced in
Yeah. Well, I mean, Indonesia, Bali is a direct line with Vedic culture. Some little few changes, but anyways.
Okay.
So worshiping the Lord, offering to the devotees or sadhus, and then offering to to other living entities, and and the last one actually is offering to ourselves. Means taking only food that is offered to Krishna, avoiding to take bhoga. Yeah. So worshiping the Lord, offering food to the Lord, offering food to the servants of the Lord, the devotees of the Lord, offering food also to those who are not devotees of the Lord yet, but by receiving, by getting prasadam, they will become. That is the beginning. And then number 5. So this is a very nice arrangement for Girasa. It's all centered around food. So if one has it, that's one of many reasons why it is important for householders to have an altar and to have a actually the householder should have at least Gornitai deities in their home. Gornitai deities. When we have a deity, then we become more conscious. Oh, the deity is in my home, and that deity actually is none different from Krishna, directly Krishna. So as we become purified in consciousness, that understanding, that realization comes, and therefore, you know, the quality of our service to the Lord in the temple or in our home on the altar, the quality of that service will reflect our consciousness. Or in other words, our consciousness will be reflected in how punctual we are, how nicely we are performing our seva to the deities. Of course, that's also there that actual advanced devotee renders that same type of service to the devotees of the Lord, or those who are dear to the Lord, isn't it? Krishna declares in the Bhagavad Gita that he is more pleased to see people, or to see his devotees worship other devotees even than worshipping him. Krishna is more pleased by the worship of his devotees and by his direct worship. Yeah. So it must have been these instructions. I'm sure were not given only in 1 hour. They were given over so many days. Narada Muni must have been there for, I don't know. It's not recorded. It's a detail, of course, but so many instructions. It's like an ongoing discussion. Similar to Parikshit Maharaj, Shukadeva Goswami. There we know it was 7 days. The conversation between Parikshit Maharaj and Shukadeva Goswami was for 7. It was continuous for 7 days and 7 nights. Yeah. So if anyone has any question in Bahasa Indonesia, they can ask and you can translate also. So we can, I think, we can close for now. Jai Grantaraj Bhagavatam ki, Jai Shri Prabhupada ki, Gauda Pimanandi, Hare Krishna.